And welcome to another Pokemon Go video. So jumping into Go Battle League, and currently in at rank 8. I'm going to jump into the Master League in Premier Cup. So the team I'm going to run is Metagross, Togekiss and Snorlax. So fairly standard team. Metagross up the front to try and catch some Togekiss leads and Dragonite leads. So first match, Dragonite on the lead. So expecting them to Togekiss on the lead. So expecting them to switch out, which they do, into the Dragonite, and I switch straight into the Togekiss. So no need to shield this. It is going to be a Hurricane, more than likely. It is, but you are able to take them out. So the reason I don't shield that Hurricane, even though I pretty much know it's a Hurricane, is because usually people have a Metagross or a Steel type in the back themselves. So there's no point keeping the health on the Togekiss. Just let it go. And that way there's not as much health to farm. So right here, swapped in the Snorlax, and they made a good swap out into their own Togekiss there. So swap straight into the Metagross, and Metagross can farm that all the way down. So you want to shield because it's usually going to be a flamethrower. Was the ancient power there, so I'm able to burn one of my shields. But having that, I've got back-to-back medium mashes. So that should be fine. So they're up 2 shields, but back-to-back medium ashes, so we'll be able to burn both of those shields now, and then let's see who gets to the charge move first. So they should be able to take me out here. So I did try and do a quick swap there just to survive, but that's going to take me out, and then I will be able to lick down the Swampert. So the thing to remember in Premier Cup in Master League is usually Swamperts run with Sludge Wave rather than Earthquake. So one thing to remember. So we'll jump straight into the next game. Hopefully we can get just as nice a lead. So what have we got? So Metagross into Empoleon, so not a great lead for us. Obviously it's going to be doing neutral damage to us. We're going to be doing resisted damage to it. So I want to stay in, so I will shield this up. It is going to be the Hydro, and it is. So I want to charge up to the Earthquake and try and bait out a shield here. Hopefully I am able to do so. So able to bait out the shield, and let's see what we get. So not going to shield up this second one. They get to the Hydro, and then I greedily go for the Earthquake, and they're able to fast move farm me down. So should have just thrown the Medium Ash to do a little bit of extra chip damage. Out comes the Snorlax, because obviously you do not want this up against a Togekiss, and I'm going to throw the superpower here. Able to take that out because they didn't shield, and then they swap into a Swampert. So their one Steel type is down, so getting Togekiss locked in is not too bad, and then out comes the Swampert here. So going to throw the ancient power just because I want to try and get the boost. I will need to shield this one up because I do want to store a little bit of health, and there's the Sludge Wave. So they Hydro Cannon first time, absolutely perfect, and then through the Sludge Wave, so absolutely perfect. Out comes the Dragonite, so I will throw the ancient power just because it's going to be doing a little bit more damage, and then able to fast move farm down the Dragonite. So the reason to throw the ancient power is because obviously flamethrower is resisted. Ancient power also gives you the boost chance, so and less energy, so always the way to go against the Dragonite there. And then we'll jump straight into the next one and see what we get. So Metagross into Metagross. So not a great match, and it's sort of who baits shields, who doesn't. So I know that they are throwing a Medium Ash there, so no need to shield that first one. And then they swap into the Dragonite. So again, swap straight into the Togekiss. Again, I know that this is going to be a Hurricane, but there's no reason to shield because that Metagross is going to come back out and have so much energy to farm. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to get to my ancient power, but they did come back out with the Metagross, and I'm able to line that up against Snorlax, which is a little bit less concerning for me, just because you don't have to worry so much about the baiting, and then out comes the Garchomp, which is not ideal. So they shield up the first one. So throw straight into the second Ancient Power. I'm going to do neutral damage, so it is what it is. And then going to throw straight into the Meteor Mash here, into the Garchomp to burn that second shield. I will have to shield this up, even though it is only going to be, oh wow, it's an Outrage. So I was not expecting the Outrage, was expecting the other, but why not throw it? So I'm able to get to my Meteor Mash there, and actually able to then get to another Meteor Mash on the Metagross and take that match, because obviously they wanted to store a Meteor Mash for when the Snorlax came in to instantly throw that. So I was able to get to my own charge move and take that game. So good game right there. And we'll jump straight into the next one. So Metagross lead and they switched out, so happy days. So not ideal. Thinking about switching out, but don't really have anything to switch to. So I know this is going to be a Sand Tomb. We're going to do a reasonable amount of damage and drop my defense. So you don't want to shield the first one, because if I do want to shield the next one, that's going to be the way to go. So we'll swap this out. So no need to shield anything on the from the Garchomp on the Togekiss. Unfortunately, it does drop my defense. So out comes the Mamoswine. So that is going to be doing huge amounts of damage, and what I want to do is line this back up with my Metagross. So out comes the Metagross, out comes the Excadrill, and I will throw the Earthquake here, hoping that they think I'm baiting. They do. 2 shields, didn't shield the Earthquake and one-shotted it, so absolutely outstanding. So here comes the Snorlax v Mamoswine, and they've got 2 shields, I've got 2 shields, so there goes both of my shields with the avalanches, and now I'm just going to have to try and lick down. So the error I made here is by throwing these charge moves. There was absolutely no point to throw these. I'm not going to make 3, so don't bother throwing. If you can't make 3, well, if you can't make 1 more than they have shields, don't bother throwing them. It just means that I've got a chance of losing a fast move there. And as you can see, they got pretty close to actually taking me out with that last Earthquake. So best, if you can't make 1 above the shield number they've got, don't bother throwing 1 at all. And able to lick down and take that game as well. So really good there. So a bit of a questionable lead, but not too bad. So this one is a very questionable lead, so not ideal. So straight into the Snorlax. So they've swapped into their own Snorlax. So interesting mirror here, and we'll see how we go. So going to throw body slams and expecting them to throw a couple body slams as well. Going to charge up to the superpower, just because the double superpower, because I want to be able to throw back to back when I do throw them. So we'll throw another body slam, because I don't want to be over 100 energy, so I want to make sure I continue to do that. So they're now getting down a bit low, so I think I will shield this one up, hoping for a superpower, and it is, so that's really good for me. Second superpower coming through. Will not shield the second one, just because they're already debuffed, and then I'll throw my own superpower and see what they get. So I get the shield there, which is absolutely outstanding. They come in with the Excadrill, throw the next superpower, and able to get into the Togekiss. And the reason they've swapped in Togekiss here, so obviously, is because the Togekiss has absolutely no play against my Metagross, so they want to get rid of it. So I'm going to swap into my Snorlax here, because I know they have energy charged, and I don't want that energy going into my Metagross. So I swap into the Metagross and then decide to farm that down. They're going to throw a move, Drill Run, and then I'm going to try and get to my Earthquake. So up a shield, so able to shield that first one, get to the Earthquake, and as we know, this will one-shot the Excadrill, and able to take that game. So good game right there, and able to get a few good leads, a few questionable leads, but still managed to take the game. So was actually able to go 5-0 in that set, so really good there. So we'll jump straight into the next one. So again, still running the same team. So Metagross on the lead into Machamp. So this is a bit of a weird match. So in equal shields, you win, because it Meteor Mash just does so much more damage, but if they decide to double shield, they can actually take this game. You will leave with a shield advantage, but obviously they will then have switch advantage. So it gets you down quite low, so shield that up, and you are able to get to a second Meteor Mash here. So we'll see what they want to do. Do they want to shield this up, or do they want to let it go? So they've decided to double shield there, and then they actually will be able to farm down, which is not ideal, because it does mean that out comes... So they can rock slide against my Togekiss, so I have to shield that up because it will do a whole lot of damage, and then out comes my Snorlax here. So interesting to see what is going to be in the back here, because normally someone would switch straight out because they want to hold that matchup of... there you go, and they've decided to switch out now. So obviously the Metagross matchup against the Togekiss is what you really want to maintain. So they stayed in a little bit too long, and then out comes their Togekiss. And so what I need to do here is farm up as much as possible and be able to throw a flamethrower onto the Metagross. So now it's a race to see who gets to their charge move first. I'm able to get to the flamethrower, and this should be enough to KO. It is enough to KO, and that's good game. So they switched out a little bit too late. Should have just straight swapped into the Togekiss there, and then they would have had that game. Left it a little bit too long, and was able to do enough damage on the Metagross before they switched out that the flamethrower was enough to KO. So really good game there for me. Got a little bit lucky at the end there. So jumping straight into the next game. And let's see what we get. So Metagross into Togekiss, they're going to swap every day, and it's a Dragonite, so I swap into my own Togekiss. And again, no need to shield this first move up. It is going to be the Hurricane, but again, you do not want them coming in and being able to farm down with a Metagross of their own. I am able to completely farm that down, and then I will be looking to throw energy on whatever comes in next. So just instantly throw the Ancient Power. It is the Togekiss, so this is going to do a little bit of extra chip damage. They do not shield it up. And then obviously I'm going to come in with my Metagross to farm up, and I am expecting them to switch out. They switch into the Snorlax there, and then I'll switch into my... they switch into Swampert, I'll switch into my Snorlax there to counter that. I will shield up one of these just because I know that Togekiss is not going to get to multiple charge moves, so there is no point saving 2 shields for it. So I'll save this up just so I can put a little bit of extra damage on the board with this Snorlax. So spend that shield because you're not going to need it for a Togekiss. It's not going to get to 2 charge moves against a Metagross. It will get to 1 more than likely, but it will not get to 2. So they actually switched out, storing up a charge move. So they do get to 1 charge move, so use that. It is only the Ancient Power, so that's really bad, but I'm going to completely farm down. I've got back-to-back Meteor Mashes charged now. The Swampert is not at a Hydro Cannon, so I will be able to throw back-to-back Meteor Mashes and take this game. So good game right there, and able to not get caught out too badly with the switch into Togekiss there. So good game right there. So jumping into the next one and see what we get on the lead. So Metagross into Dragonite. Again, pretty good matchup. They switch into Machamp. So again, I'm going to switch into my Togekiss. They will be throwing a Rock Slide, and it does do a lot of damage. But again, if they've got a Steel type in the back, I don't want to leave with a lot of energy for them to farm, and they do. They've got a Metagross, so you don't want to leave it with all the energy in the world to farm. So I will throw the Ancient Power, grab a shield, and get out of there. So again, switch into the Snorlax. And I do know, obviously, there's a Dragonite in the back. So they threw the Earthquake there, which I'm not quite sure on. Then out comes the Dragonite, so I'll swap into my Metagross. It is only the Dragon Claw, unfortunately, but that is fine. Shield that up and then throw the energy on this Dragonite. So I do get their last shield, and waiting to see what happens here. So I'm going to shield this up because I do want to be able to throw some energy onto have a bit of health, so they have to throw on me with their own Metagross if they get that far. So out comes my own Metagross, and I will throw straight into the Meteor Mash, and then swap out into my Snorlax and throw the superpower, and that should be enough to say GG's right there. So saving that energy in the back on the Snorlax to be able to swap out and throw straight away on the Metagross, really useful there. And we'll jump into the next one. So what have we got in the lead? So pretty standard lead of Metagross, but there's a reason it's a standard lead, because it does counter a lot of things. So Gyarados, what is it? It's a Waterfall Gyarados, so that's really bad for me. It's going to do a lot of damage. They charge up a little bit of extra energy here, and then come in with a Garchomp, which is not ideal for me. I will just look to throw some energy. Got a nice little chunk of lag there. Thinking, oh, is this going to be? Nope, it's the Outrage, and that does a lot of damage. So looking to get as much damage on this thing as I possibly can. And then we'll actually just let this go down. Well, I say let. So they're going to be throwing energy here, and this will take me out. So possibly what I should have done here is shielded that up to win switch advantage, because now out comes the Metagross. I have to switch out, and then they're going to switch back into the Gyarados, and then that's as long as they can maintain alignment and don't make any foolish mistakes, which at this point is unlikely to happen. And they used a Crunch as well, so shielded up the Aqua Tail, let the Crunch go through, so not good times for me. So going to be throwing straight into the next one to KO this Gyarados, and then they're going to be able to come out and farm me down with their own Metagross. They're going to have back-to-back charge moves here, so shield this up, but they will get to another one. They've got 2 shields of their own. This game is well and truly over, and so throwing the Outrage on the Snorlax there and winning that switch was really important, and maintaining switch for them was just absolutely vital. Line up the right things, and absolutely nothing you can do about it. So good game right there, and we'll jump into the next one and see what we get. So sometimes people just have everything that counters you perfectly, and there's not much you can do. So in this one, so it is a Dragonite on the lead. So I was thinking about switching out, but I probably don't have anything better for this. So I'm not 100% sure what this move is going to be. It is a Wild Charge, so it does a lot of damage. Expecting this to be a back-to-back Wild Charge, so I will shield this second one up, and there it is. And then I will look to charge this down. So the reason I'm going for a Meteor Mash here is because with the double debuff, it's going to be doing enough damage to take it out. And so now trying to get to another Meteor Mash, not able to do so, and then out comes a Dragonite. Out comes my Togekiss, and then obviously they're swapped into their Metagross. I've swapped into my Snorlax to counter that. So looking to do as much damage as I can to this thing. I can't have that matched up against my Togekiss because it will absolutely shred it, as you've seen in pretty much every other game. So they've shielded up there, and I will just throw this energy now. So just going to throw the Body Slam and then throw the Superpower to take this out, and then instantly swap into my Togekiss because I do not want them farming up any extra energy. So this is again going to be a Hurricane, but you can survive it. Have no choice because no shields, but able to survive that, and then fast move farm that Dragonite down and get the win. So happy days. So able to go 4-1 in that set, so pretty good run there, and not too bad. And let's see what that reward is, and it's a Dino, so really happy with that. Still looking for it. I've got a video on how to improve your excellent curveball, so I'll link to that now if you want to check it out. Do so. Only got a great there, got to let that circle get a little bit smaller. So not bad. 114 candy, still waiting to evolve that Dino, so always excited when I see them. Let's see what that does to our ranking. So it does pick us up a bit, so 23.53, so not too bad. So still trying to push for that rank 9, and we will hopefully get there at some point. Hopefully that was useful for someone. The thing I would say is, if you're in the unlimited, so Master League, get a best buddy, use it. At the moment I don't have any of those best buddied, but if you can, definitely do. There is no reason not to. So hopefully that's useful for someone. Thanks very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.